Will the graduates seated on the floor please return to your seats?
Flourish is next, and then pomp after that, and then the anthem after that. Flourish is next, then pomp after that.
I need the graduates to return to their seats. Will the graduates please be seated as the class marshals post the college colors. They will be escorted by members of the Executive Board of the Student Government Association. From the College of Engineering, Patrick Baines. Kevin McDonald. Tavish Fenberg. Justin Ramberger. Trevor Gale. Brent Daly. 4.0 GPAs. From the DeMoore McKim School of Business, John Williamson, 4.0 GPA. From the College of Computing and Information Sciences, William Meehan, 3.998. From the Bouvet College of Health Sciences, Melissa Gilblin, Taylor Imbrija, 4.0 GPAs. From the College of Arts, Media, and Design, Pablo Hernandez Balsto, 3.99 GPA. From the College of Science, Daniel Collins, Zui Koi Dang, Benjamin Moran, Alyssa Kanai, Christopher Josie, 4.0 GPAs. From the College of Social Sciences and Humanities, Estelle Pickende, Selene Chin, 4.0 GPAs. Congratulations to the class marshals. Please take your seats. Representatives of the university faculty will now take their places. Alumni representing the class of 1968 and golden graduates will now take their seats. Would all degree candidates and their guests please rise as you are able? I welcome Alexander Kern, Executive Director of the Center for Spirituality, Dialogue, and Service, to the podium for the introduction of the invocation. After the prayers, let us all join in the singing of the first stanza of the national anthem, led by Ms. Amanda Page Fazio from the College of Social Sciences and Humanities.
Please join with Northeastern's spiritual advisors for prayers from our respective traditions. Rabbi Mendy Posner, Chabad's Jewish spiritual advisor, Samer Nasaruddin, Muslim spiritual advisor, Brother Sam Gunn, Roman Catholic spiritual advisor, Anjum Biswas, Hindu spiritual advisor, and the Reverend Megan Holding, Episcopal spiritual advisor.
Vihi Nayam Adinaya Lehenu Alenu, Uma Sayadenu Kainana Alenu, Uma Sayadenu Kainanehu. May the pleasantness of Hashem our God be upon us and firmly establish the work of our hands in an everlasting manner. Mazel Tov.
اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام تباركت ربنا وتعاليت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. O God, you are the source of peace, and from your grace comes peace. And what returns me to you is peace. Blessed are you, O our Lord, and you are the most exalted, the owner of majesty and bounty.
Lord and giver of life, fill these, your daughters and sons, with the confidence which comes from knowing your love and your presence in every situation.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnatsya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. May the complete and perfect God bless and guide you at each step you take from here on. May your heart be filled with love, compassion, and fearlessness that comes when we connect ourselves with Him. In the journey ahead in your life externally, may you discover your own complete and perfect self internally.
May these graduates go forth into the world as agents of wisdom, peace, and justice. And may we be servant leaders always, from generation to generation. Amen.
Oh, say can
The color guards from the Army ROTC will now post the colors.
Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jim Bean, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to Northeastern University's 116th commencement. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Northeastern University, I want to extend congratulations to the class of 2018. We're delighted to share this momentous occasion with you, your families, and friends. I know you, our graduates, and your families have dreamed of this day since you first applied for admission to this great university. It's a day of promise fulfilled, of hard work rewarded. It's the start of a very bright future. I hope that all of you enjoy this moment in which our community joins together. The members of the Northeastern University's faculty feel tremendous pride as they stand with those whom they have taught and recommended for academic degrees. And to you, faculty and staff, by guiding today's graduates to this moment, you have discharged your most crucial commitment. You have preserved a legacy of knowledge and helped mold the shape of the future. So together, let us celebrate these wonderful accomplishments, and together, let us look forward to the great accomplishments to come from the class of 2018. This year, we launched a new tradition of conducting exit interviews with some of our seniors. President Aoun was so supportive of this idea, he offered to interview the pilot group himself. Take a look.
Hello, how are you? Welcome. Have a seat, have a seat. Okay, now we're going to be serious. In order for you to graduate, you have to answer some questions. You do well in the interview, you graduate.
Okay.
This is an honor.
It's an honor if you do well.
That's true.
So, when was the university founded?
Gosh, I'm a historian. I should know this. 1832?
No. No, I have to write it down because this may impact your graduation. Do you read books?
Sure, yeah.
Did you read my book?
No.
Okay, that's a
I read
problem.
the Northeastern Student Handbook.
How many students do co-ops every year?
Oh, the individual number?
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the individual.
Well, once again, you have to study that.
Okay.
Tell me something about you that you don't like.
That I don't like.
Expand on this
Sure.
in an essay.
Then I graduate. I thought I was done.
No. Tell me, what is the worst decision you ever made in your life?
Oh, that's a great question.
Do you know what I like to eat every day? Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I'm just... I mean, I should know that, I guess.
Absolutely.
Oh, so my bad. I'm sorry.
I am testing you. You're not testing me. Okay. What's my name?
Dr. Joseph Aoun.
Ah, that will help with the other question. Okay, guys, come on in. Some of you passed and some of you did not. First of all, thank you for being here. You were great sports because you're on camera. You have one camera over there, here, and one camera here. We're planning to show it during commencement. 22,000 people are going to look at you. And don't eat the licorice because it has a camera in it.
So, wait, I'm still graduating, right?
It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of Northeastern University, Joseph E. Aoun.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. let me start with the good news. You'll be graduating, but only after the event is over. And everybody will graduate except those who were on the camera that have to come back and see me again. Good morning again, and welcome to Northeastern's 116th commencement. I wish to extend a very special welcome to our golden graduates who finished their studies more than 50 years ago. Parents, families, friends, spouses, and partners, I share your joy on this day. You have supported your loved ones through their journey. They could not have reached this day without you. Class of 2018, please rise and thank them for all they have done. Thank you. Be seated. To the class of 2018, I would like you to acknowledge the faculty and staff who have guided you to. Let's give them a big round of applause. And to the class of 2018, congratulations. That's great. To our commencement speaker and our honorary degree recipients, welcome to the Northeastern family. Yes, give them a round of applause. We will do it later, too. Graduates, today we celebrate your many accomplishments. You've overcome the most rigorous academic challenges. You have thrived in the pressure of leading organizations throughout the world. Many of you are holding the flags of the places in which you have studied and worked. Wave them. It's beautiful. 150 flags. Thank you. Graduates, you have done a great deal more. You have volunteered in service to your communities. You have launched numerous businesses and not-for-profits, and you have forged friendships that will uplift you for the rest of your lives. You've been very busy. But learning doesn't end when you receive your diplomas. Learning is a lifelong journey. Every day, new avenues of opportunity and knowledge open before us. The world doesn't stop changing, and we must continue to discover and learn. Just in the past year, we have seen historic breakthroughs in machine learning, gene editing, and in space exploration. Yours is the first generation to work and live alongside intelligent machines. At countless tasks, machines are learning to outperform human beings. So we must learn too, or we become obsolete. No one is immune. I fear growing rigid in my thoughts and outdated in my ideas. Learning is my shield against irrelevance. The best part of my job is that it gives me the chance to learn from all of you. Walking the campus with you, looking at your contributions, being with you all over the world, you kept me up to date and relevant. Even in this time of miraculous technology, humanity remains the measure of what matters. With the rise of machine intelligence, human intelligence is our most precious asset. Our humanity gives us the spark of creativity. It inspires us to invent new ideas and launch new ventures. Humanity gives us more than the will to climb a mountain. It instills in us the desire to reach the summit and the imagination to see the colors of the horizon beyond. Nader Jakaman Yuha, who is graduating today with a degree in engineering, showed me this by tackling a very human problem. In his native Honduras, rates of adult diabetes are on the rise, and most of the population lives in poverty, lacking access to treatment. He launched a company, IC Health. It delivers affordable glucose monitoring devices throughout Honduras. Now he plans to branch out, providing diabetes education to the people who need it most. Technology assumes an ever more dominant role in our lives. Entrepreneurs like Nader will lead us in building a better world. You've all cultivated this mindset at Northeastern, not only in your theoretical learning, but in your experiences. Experience is the crucible in which we fuse learning and life. You integrated your studies with co-ops. From the seed of an idea, you have grown businesses. From a flicker of curiosity, you have kindled discoveries. In venturing outside the classroom, you have gained an edge in life. Jessica Yulig, who is graduating from Damor Makim today, came to Northeastern with a passion for social enterprise. She found an opportunity in an unlikely source, the nut of the croton tree that grows wild in East Africa. On co-op in Kenya, she worked with a company that turns the croton nut into biofuel, animal feed, and fertilizer. To collect the nuts, they hire low-income farmers. Jessica designed and set up a better factory layout, helping boost production. The production boost allows the farmer to earn a steady income, and they spend it on food, medicine, and education. Jessica's innovations helped people build a better life. Every day, students like Nader and Jessica remind us that empathy is our driving force. Our qualities like innovation, entrepreneurship, and cultural agility are channels that branch from the current of a human feeling. Tavish Fenbert, who majored in engineering and theater, he knows this well. He devised his own co-op in India, designing food processing technology for use in rural areas. Tavish understood that an idea that works in Boston may not work in a village outside Mumbai. For his designs to succeed, he had to understand the needs of the people who would use them. So he went to the villages. You start by talking with them, and they have to be involved in the process, Tavish said. Tavish learned the transformative power of collaboration and partnership. I know that everyone graduating today can tell impressive stories about their experiences. I have listened and learned from many of you, and I'm excited that your stories have only just begun. Remember, this day of celebration is not a day of closure. It's a milestone on the arc of learning that bends in the distance, with the end always out of sight. As technology continues to upgrade its systems, you must too. Renew your skills, but never forget that your most valuable asset is what makes us uniquely human. Graduates, thanks to your experience here, you begin your careers and graduate studies from a higher vantage point. But it is in our connection to one another that we discover our true strength and our true calling. Creativity, entrepreneurship, cultural agility, these are potent qualities, and they are founded on empathy for others. Inequality, injustice, and intolerance cast long shadows. But your human spirit is luminous. Draw upon its brightness to create grace, justice, and beauty. Use your gifts to eliminate the dark. You are torchbearers in an age that longs for light. I look forward to learning with and from you in the years to come. You will keep me current with the changing world. Now lead that change and make the world yours. Class of 2018, congratulations.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce our student speaker, Carly Parlato from the College of Engineering. Carly from Hillsborough, New Jersey, graduates with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. During her time at Northeastern, she wholeheartedly embraced the full range of activities and experiences offered here. She has been heavily involved with the Paradigm Hyperloop team, working to make Elon Musk's Hyperloop mass transit technology a reality. She was project lead for Northeastern's entrepreneurial product design studio, Generate, working on automated gardening system called TropoGarden. She worked with engineering professor Andrew Goldstone to develop innovative tools to help individuals afflicted with tremors due to Parkinson's disease. She completed 3 artificial intelligence-focused co-ops at Medtronic, NASA, and Google, and was a member of Northeastern Society of Women Engineers. This June, she will be heading off to SpaceX to work on life support systems for the Dragon space module. Please welcome the class of 2018 student speaker, Carly Parlato.
Thank you, Provost Bean. Congratulations, class of 2018. We have arrived. It was no small effort to get here, and we had a lot of help along the way. Thank you to our families for loving and supporting us unconditionally. Thank you to our professors and mentors for enriching our education and encouraging us to embrace the challenges ahead. And we should thank each other, our friends and fellow Northeastern students, for shaping us into the truly incredible people we are graduating as today. I am so grateful to be connected to you all in this way, to have shared the most developmental years of our lives together. I have met the most confident, bright, and fiercely compassionate people, people that volunteer their time, advocate for equal rights, and educate themselves on the effect we are having on our environment. People who discuss how to build a better future over pitchers at Connors or spicy TKOs at Chicken Lou's. I have endless belief in us, in this room, to change the world, to make serious and significant positive impact in all industries, to create new ones. I believe the world is ready to change. You can feel it. You can see it in the streets. People are marching, Change is building. We are on the brink, the verge of a social, cultural revolution fueled by rapid technological advancement and innovation. These are exciting and occasionally scary times, but they provide opportunities for those that are prepared and those that are unafraid. I remember the growth mindset we learned in co-op class. It encouraged us to decide we are capable of learning anything and take the first steps forward. No fear, no self-doubt, just go for it. We are Northeastern students. We have this mindset. We embrace change. We thrive in it. As the late Stephen Hawking said, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. I remember my first co-op here in Boston. I was worried about everything, even my commute. Green line to red, get off at South Station, walk across the bridge, look out over the harbor, and see that stone pyramid sculpture jutting out of the middle of the water. I walked across that bridge hundreds of times, and eventually it became routine. Often a coworker would suggest jumping off the bridge into the water, but always it was shot down because it's a 20-foot drop into jellyfish-infested water. On my last day of co-op, walking over the bridge, one of my coworkers said, "Well, Carly, if we were ever gonna jump, today would be the day." It might have been that no fear, no self-doubt mindset kicking in, because I climbed over the railing while they're still making bets, and I jump. I swim fast straight to the pyramid and climb, my body now fully shaking with adrenaline, and I get to the top and I stick my fist up in the air like Rocky, and a woman screams out, "You go, girl!" And I want to freeze this moment with you because I learned a lot. One, the Boston Harbor is disgusting and we should clean it up. Two, women supporting other women is awesome. Scream, "You go, girl," whenever you get the chance. And three, the stone pyramid in the middle of the harbor is actually made of foam. It is floating on a chain, and it is very easy to move. So 3, you are capable of deviating from your routine, embracing your fears, and changing the very structures you are simultaneously trying to climb. Now, I'm not suggesting bridge jumping, but life is too often plagued by routine and complacency, and too easily made exciting by the smallest effort to embrace change. And there is a lot to embrace in this fast-moving world. Artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, hyperloop, humanoid robotics, rockets to Mars. Each one of these challenges is being worked on by students graduating with us today, and I'm proud to be among you. Our education has given us the chance to explore our own curiosities, and in the process, our networks have grown far-reaching and our world seemingly very small. I will always remember my mentors, John Fitch from Google and Megan Lin from NASA, and the time they invested in me. I have them to thank for why I love thermal analysis and why I want to go to space one day. I am proud to say that they are both Northeastern graduates themselves. Yeah. We are graduating today, unafraid of venturing into this world alone because we know we are not truly alone. We are part of this Northeastern community that stretches into every city you would ever want to visit, every company you would ever want to work at, and every future you would ever want to be a part of. We are building a truly powerful, global, possibly interplanetary community of students that can change worlds together, and I can't wait to see what we do. Class of 2018, congratulations. Love you guys.
Thank you, Carly, for your memorable remarks. It's now my pleasure to introduce Ada Yu Yang, Chair of the Senior Legacy Committee and from the College of Social Science and Humanities. Ada is a leader known around campus for her proactive attitude and friendly nature. She's been involved with student mentorship since her sophomore year and teaching assistance for several classes with missions related to community development, philanthropy, and social impact. Her multicultural background in China, Singapore, UK, and France, with co-ops at Boston Mayor's Office and Mass General Hospital Development Office, enhanced her passion to pursue a career in nonprofit and development after graduation. Please join me in welcoming Ada to the podium to present the 2018 Senior Legacy Participation Check.
Congratulations, class of 2018. It gives me so much pleasure to see everyone here today with their caps and gowns. And it's been a pleasure serving as the chair of Senior Legacy Committee this year. We have witnessed and made history here at Northeastern that legacy will stay with us through life. I hope you continue to make your own history while keep remembering to give back to your communities, which support your self-development like Northeastern have. You have already taken the first steps to cement your legacy with these senior gifts, and let that only be the start. Take everything you have earned, that only be the start, and take everything you have gained during your time here and use it forever to better yourselves, global citizens, and the societies we live in. I want to extend a personal thank you to everyone who have given back to the Husky community through the Senior Legacy Committee this year. I am so honored to stand before you today and tell you that a record-breaking of 72% of this graduating class donated back to Northeastern. You have invested in Northeastern's future and the future of many others who will one day be in our places, ready to explore their own adventures. 谢谢我的朋友跟家人. Thank you for supporting Northeastern. Thank you for Northeastern for supporting us. With that, President Anun, on behalf of the graduating class of 2018, please accept our gift of $43,570.
Thank you, Ada, and all of the class of 2018. Our alumni are important members of the Northeastern family. I have the pleasure of introducing Binja Bazamike, Chair of the Young Alumni Advisory Board. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
Good morning, class of 2018. You are the next generation of transformative trailblazers, innovative thought leaders, and entrepreneurial pioneers. You will change the way we think, the way we communicate, and the way we do business. Your potential is virtually limitless, and your ambition unrelenting. Not only are you accomplished and gifted members of the class of 2018, You are part of a thriving Northeastern University community that is making an impact around the globe. I urge you to explore the many opportunities available to you wherever you begin your journey. With alumni, parents, and students living in more than 190 countries, wow, and a multitude of Northeastern communities around the world, you are empowered to build both connections to fortify your career and play an active role in enhancing the Northeastern network worldwide. The Office of Alumni Relations is your catalyst to stay in touch with lifelong Northeastern community, keep learning, access career strategies, engage with thought leaders and idea generators, and finally, to find resources that you need to achieve to know what's next. I'd also like to acknowledge the members of the 50th reunion class of 1968 and other fellow Golden graduates who are joining us for a portion of today's celebration. Golden grads, would you please stand as you are able? Golden grads, I present to you our newest class of alumni. Now join me for our traditional pinning ceremony. I invite Suchira Sharma, the president of the Student Government Association and Office of Alumni Relations Compass Award recipient, to join me at the podium. I believe you all received the cards with the pin. Please remove the pin from your card and place it on a fellow graduate next to you. Awesome job. All right, class of 2018. This pin symbolizes not only your determination and accomplishments, but your inclusion in an incredibly diverse community. I am thrilled to welcome you into the Northeastern Alumni Network and eagerly anticipate watching your stories unfold. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, Binja and Suchura. The honorary degrees will now be conferred. It is now my pleasure to introduce Richard A. Damore, Chair of the Board of Trustees of Northeastern University.
Thank you, and congratulations all. Mr. President, the Board of Trustees of Northeastern authorizes the conferral of honorary degrees upon the following recipients in recognition of notable achievements in their respective fields. Anthony Renard Fox, for the degree of Doctor of Public Service, escorted by Trustee William S. Howard and Trustee Marcy L. Reed. Paula Ann Kerger, for the degree of Doctor of Media, escorted by Trustee Susan Deach and Trustee Christopher A. Wiebacher. John Edward Sexton, for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, escorted by Dean Ken Henderson and University Distinguished Professor Margaret Burnham. M.A. Aaron Mullins, for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, escorted by Vice Chair Alan McKim and Trustee Deborah Dunsire. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is now my pleasure to call upon Trustee Howard to escort Anthony Fox and Trustee Reed to join me at the podium.
I have the honor of presenting Anthony Bernard Fox for the degree of Doctor of Public Service.
Transformative urban leader, trailblazer for transportation policy, champion for creative public partnerships. As mayor of the city of Charlotte, you devoted your talent and energy to pulling your community out of the depths of the Great Recession, making it a prosperous hub for the most promising business sectors. You forged innovative partnerships that offered new economic and educational opportunities for your city, including the establishment of Northeastern's first regional campus. As U.S. Secretary of Transportation, you envisioned and enacted policies that anticipated the sweeping impact of technological advancements on 21st century transit and travel.
In recognition of this degree, Trustee Howard has vested you with the hood.
Here we go.
And now, I will present you with this diploma. It is my pleasure to call upon Trustee Deach to escort Paula Kerger and Trustee Wiebacher to join me at the podium.
Paula Ann Kerger, broadcast industry innovator, agile chief executive, standard bearer for programming excellence, and a truly inspirational leader. Since you took the helm of the public broadcasting system in 2006, your wise and prescient leadership has made you the longest-serving president and CEO in the network's history, even as a technology revolution has challenged the broadcast industry worldwide. While many have struggled to adapt, you have guided PBS through a veritable golden age, marked by acclaimed programming and equally acclaimed digitally driven solutions. By astutely recognizing that media channels would change, but engrossing storytelling was the constant, you have made your network and its producing partners synonymous with achievement under fire.
In recognition of this degree, Trustee Deach will vest you with the hood. And now I'll present you with this diploma. And now it's my pleasure to call upon Dean Henderson to escort John Sexton and Professor Burnham to join me at the podium.
Mr. President, it is my honour to present John Edward Sexton for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
John Edward Sexton, preeminent legal scholar and practitioner, public policy sage, groundbreaking leader in global higher education. As an attorney, law professor, and dean of the New York University School of Law, You have been a nationally influential voice on legal scholarship and the American judicial system. Named NYU's 50th president in 2002, you transformed the institution, attracting world-renowned scholars to the faculty and pioneering degree-granting campuses in the Middle East and China, a first for any major U.S. research institution. Through your prominent positions with the Federal Reserve and the Council on Foreign Relations, you are at the forefront of helping to shape America's economic and global policy at a vital juncture in our nation's history.
In recognition of this degree, Dean Henderson will vest you with the hood. And now I'll confer the diploma. Now it's my pleasure to call upon Vice Chair McKim to escort Amy Mullins and Trustee Danziger to join me at the podium.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting Amy Erin Mullins for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Amy Erin Mullins, a modern Renaissance woman, champion of the self-designed life, and an exemplar of human empowerment. From childhood, you were fiercely determined to identify yourself without limits, no labels, and so having legs of wood and plastic were never seen as disability, but simply as the way you moved fast and lived. Building on your unprecedented breakthroughs as a track athlete, achieved by your grit, determination, natural ability, and assisted by your vision of what prosthetic legs could be, you've created a life that transcends the concept of boundaries. Your remarkable achievements across the realm of culture, advocacy, and athletics have made you an icon of self-definition and redefinition of what beauty is, of body image, completely transcending any possibility of being called disabled.
In recognition of this degree, Vice Chair McKim will vest you with the hood.
Hi. It's a good-looking crowd. Thank you, President Owen, and the Northeastern's Board of Trustees and the university's faculty and staff for this great honor. And congratulations to you, Northeastern's class of 2018, as well as the class of 1968. I'd like to acknowledge also the parents and the friends, your families who have all been on this journey with you in some way or another. Some folks might look at a graduating class like this and see a bunch of young people who've spent 4 to 5 years acquiring knowledge. But the great universities of the world, of which Northeastern is one, teach you how to think and not what to think. Learning how to think never stops. It continues to evolve as you go through life. And there are, of course, some people who don't evolve their thinking, mainly because they create their own echo chamber, a quietly curated comfort zone within which they live out their time on this earth. Staying within the circles of what we know will inevitably lead to stagnation. So I want to focus today on the power of the unknown, of embracing not knowing. When we trust what we know to be absolute, we limit our ability to have new perceptions and insights that would allow us to innovate. So consider these 3 words that speak eloquently to the idea of not knowing: naivete, curiosity, and daydreaming. There was a time in all of our lives when these 3 words, maybe more than any others, described how we generated our thoughts about ourselves and the world around us. I'm talking about childhood, of course. Now, this commencement ceremony is kind of a rite of passage into adulthood. You'll see in the fine print at the bottom of your diploma, it says you're technically grown-ups now. You can't get money from your parents anymore. But I'd like you to leave here today not just with your hard-earned diploma, but the conviction that those childlike ways of thinking and being will make you better at being an adult. I'd like you to remember that naivete, curiosity, and daydreaming are tools for building a better life, and you should be reaching into your toolbox for them often. Allow me to explain the hows and whys, starting with naivete. The dictionary defines naivete as a lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment. Also, an innocence or unsophistication. Strict definition aside, in context, this word is often used as a pejorative, and in fact, when I talk to people about it, it tends to make them uncomfortable. They don't want to think of themselves as naive. But I would argue that a lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment in and of itself is not a negative at all. Not knowing that you can't do something can be an incredible asset in life. Now, I'm going to pause here for a second. I'm well aware that I'm telling the graduates of the world's leading university for experiential learning that a lack of experience is a good thing. But, bear with me, because it's absolutely relevant to the amazing things that you've achieved in your 4 or 5 years at Northeastern. It was a sense of naivete that brought me to something called disabled sports. You got to close your eyes and imagine a time before Google. That's when I lived. I had never met another amputee during childhood. I mean, I knew that they theoretically were out there, but it was like, you sort of know that a unicorn's out there somewhere too, you think. And so in my entire childhood, I played sports with all the other kids who had flesh and bone legs, and my legs were wood, like a wooden plastic compound. But I played everything: soccer, skiing, volleyball, softball, and I learned not to overlook the advantages of being different. Like, I got the stolen bases record one year because sliding into second base with wooden legs really makes the girl covering the bag think twice whether or not she wants to take that in the shins or just maybe get out of the way. Some people call that cheating. I say it's using what you got. It wasn't until I was in college in Washington, D.C., as a teenager, that someone suggested I compete in a disabled track meet in Boston with other people like me. And I was like, what do you mean other people like me? Blondes? What are you talking about? And he said, well, people who use wheelchairs and stuff. It would be uplifting. Uplifting? I was beginning to imagine his assemblage of me and Helen Keller and Pollyanna and the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the ghost of Tiny Tim at a track meet. It's the feel-good event of the year. Bottom line is I wanted nothing to do with disabled sports. I was a competitor. I wasn't looking for what I thought was just going to be a self-esteem boost. And I went home that night, and I was so annoyed, and I couldn't figure out why I was so irked by this suggestion. And I realized that I didn't know anything about disabled sports. I realized I was being completely arrogant about this refusal to look at disabled sports as a viable outlet for my urge to compete. In essence, my ignorance was fueling my arrogance, as it always does. I was judging and not experiencing. So I knew then, oh, I have to sign up for this track meet in Boston. Never mind the fact that this was the National Disabled Sports Championships and that I had never run track before. I just booked a flight to Logan for what I thought was going to be, you know, wow, a fun trip to Boston. I'd never been to Boston before, not expecting too much more. So I signed up for the 100-meter race, but I didn't even really know what part of the oval track the 100-meter race is run on, nor exactly how long 100 meters really was as a concept of length. I mean, we know this, guys. We learn technically the metric system, but we don't really use it here. So for my training, I went up, there was a gravel track up behind American University in Tenleytown in DC, and there was a woman there jogging around, and I just asked her how far the 100 meters was, and she said, it's the straightaway part of the track. I thought, I can do that. And so I set myself at one end of the straightaway, took a deep breath, and set off running as fast as I could go. I nearly collapsed at 55 meters. I had just learned why running without a ball to chase is so unappealing to so many other athletes. There's nothing to take your mind off of how much your body's hurting. And I went back to that gravel track 3 more times before that trip to Boston. And the truth is, I never made it past 60 meters. So my big plan, as a naive teenager, was to deprive myself of caffeine for the entire week before the meet. And then the morning of my event, I was going to go to Starbucks, get a huge cup of coffee that was undoubtedly act as rocket fuel, making me super fast. Then I arrive on MIT's campus, where this meet's being held, in my wooden legs, to see the other runners wearing things that looked like they had come out of NASA's research lab. You know, black woven carbon fiber on the shin, a shock absorbers in the ankle, and a carbon fiber foot. You know, basically legs that look like they came out of RoboCop. And they're all looking at me, this girl from Allentown, PA, like I'm a relic of the past, like with my wooden legs, I'm a baby woolly mammoth found frozen in the ice. They're like, oh, you're from Allentown, aren't you? You know, Google wasn't around then. You can't just Google prosthetic and see what's out there. So panic sets in. Of course, the caffeine is not giving me energy. It's giving me the shakes. I have about 10 minutes before my race starts, and I run over and I find the track official, and I asked him for some last-minute advice on sprinting. I was like, what do you have? Anything? Tips, tricks, anything I should know? Anything at all? Anything right now, right now. Just tell me what I know. And he's like, now you want to know? Okay. Well, I guess the only thing I could say is that if you have anything left in your body when you cross that finish line, you haven't run hard enough. So when that gun went off, I ran like something big and hairy was chasing me down that track. And I threw myself over the finish line, beating the then national record holder by a few hundredths of a second, which was basically my nose getting across the finish line before her knee did. A few years later, someone showed me photographs of the event, and what I saw was evidence of exactly why I had won. When I say like something, I was running like something big and hairy was chasing me, I looked like the big and hairy. My fists were clenched, my teeth were bared, my arms swinging like windmills, and the women on either side of me were like, ah! Far more concerned about getting knocked out than they were being able to run their race. But I didn't know that at the time. So there I was after that race, barely able to regain my breath, but the new national record holder in the 100-meter race, my first shot out. It's a little bit dubious, guys. But I thought to myself, what else can I do that I didn't know I could do? And just then, the heat sheet was posted for the men's long jump that was going to be held that afternoon. So I went over to the track official. I said, what time is the women's long jump? He said, there is no women's long jump. Oh, yeah? Why not? And he said, because no women have signed up. I thought, this is great. I can't lose. I'm going to go home with 2 first place. Put me down. So it's 8 men and me. And with this event, you get 3 jumps. So 8 men jump and I jump, and 8 men jump and I jump. And somewhere between my second and third jump, this guy comes up to me. He's wearing a big baggy tracksuit, so I can't tell what or where he had his NASA technology on his body. And he said to me, "Hey, Amy, I hear you're a double BK. Is that a hamburger? I have no idea what you're talking about, you know." He said, "That's a double below-the-knee amputee. That's what you are. And that's what I am, too. But you're doing the long jump?" I said, "Mm-hmm." He said, "But how are you doing that?" I said, "Well, it's fairly self-explanatory. So you run down that runway. You try not to cross that white line and hope and pray that your butt hits the sand. Because if it doesn't, it's bad." He said, "Yes, I understand how the long jump is supposed to be done. But we're not supposed to be able to do the long jump because we don't have a good foot to push off with." And sure enough, I look at the other 8 guys, and they all have one leg of flesh and bone. That is their springboard, plant leg. And I said to him, "Nobody told me that. I've already jumped twice, so I should probably just keep doing it." And that day I came within a few inches of the United States record, and within a year I had set the world record in the long jump, still having been the only double BK to do it. Here we go. So besides needing training, obviously an athletic discipline to become a technically astute sprinter, I also knew that I was going to have to abandon my lifelong companion of those wooden legs. I was going to need to trade up to those carbon fiber RoboCop legs that I saw at MIT Media Lab, but I didn't get those legs just yet. What happened is that I arrived in track at precisely the right moment to be the guinea pig for an entirely new design, one that would indeed revolutionize prosthetics and forever change the way athletes who wear them would be perceived. See, it's super rare to be a bilateral amputee. You know, we're kind of at the bottom of the totem pole. Most people who are amputees have one flesh and bone limb, and the prosthetist models the prosthetic off of that limb with the goal of achieving symmetry. So your height, weight, pronation of the feet, et cetera, the alignment, it's all already determined. You just need to match it. So success, typically to a prosthetist, is achieving any semblance of replacing a human limb, however limited or mediocre. And that paradigm is what I faced every single time I walked into a prosthetist's office. Instead of thinking about the possibilities of this negative space between where my leg ends and the ground, all they were thinking about was that they didn't have one leg upon which to match the other one. Nobody was thinking about the opportunities of this situation until I met an inventor. The opportunity, the adversity I presented to this prosthetist was an opportunity to the inventor. And the rather childlike idea was this: if I was trying to become the fastest woman on the planet with prosthetic legs, and I didn't have to have human legs below the knee, then why are we looking at them? Why aren't we looking at the fastest thing that runs, which is a cheetah? And it took an engineer, someone outside the traditional medical field of prosthetics, to create the innovative design for me that for more than 20 years later is still the standard for amputee sprinters worldwide. Now, based on these experiences, I think an alternative definition of naivete is apposite. President Aoun, being a native French speaker and linguist, I wonder if you could verify the etymology of naivete.
Absolutely. You have it.
Native disposition. It translates to native disposition, or those qualities that you have when you're just born. We looked this up last night. Toddlers learning to walk do not see impossibility. They just haven't figured out how to do it yet. And what I'm talking about, it's not the quality of resilience. The getting up and trying again and again is rooted in naivete. They don't have the experience, wisdom, or judgment of giving up. The toddler simply doesn't see falling down as failure. But you don't have to be a toddler to use your naivete tool. You can actively choose to step away from what you think you know to come at a problem with the new eyes of the just born. Think about it. Every time you solved a new puzzle on a co-op job or in the research lab, you weren't allowing yourself to be disabled by your mind telling you that something was impossible just because you'd never done it before. You used your naivete to face and fix a problem without knowing or worrying about the shoulds. All invention and innovation is born of this mindset. The cheetah legs that enabled me to run Division I track for Georgetown and compete for the United States in the Paralympics abandoned what prosthetic legs should look like. Releasing ourselves from the historical baggage of what has always been or what should be, in this case, a leg needing to have a shin and a foot, allows us to be open to what I call the serendipity of surprise. Naivete and curiosity are the passive and active sides of the same coin. Naivete, the passive side, allows us to be surprised by new ways of thinking and being because it's wiping the slate clean of those shoulds. The active side of that coin compels us to go hunting for surprises, to pursue the unknown with a vigorous appetite for discovery. This is the second tool that's been in your toolbox your whole life, curiosity. Don't let yours get rusty. One way to illustrate the power of curiosity is through the words of one of your fellow graduates, Abby Titcomb, a mechanical engineering student and already a successful entrepreneur. Addressing the topic of attempting a new thing, a thing when it's all new to you, Abby says, by stepping into the proverbial fire and just going for it, you actually develop more than if you just stepped aside and waited until you thought you were ready. In short, you do better just starting something than you do thinking about starting something. Just starting something is using your curiosity as an active tool to learn and discover. It's about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. College is the last time most of us are required to read books we wouldn't otherwise, to watch films from genres we don't gravitate towards. And it tends to be the last time we truly grapple with subjects and ideologies that aren't familiar or easily digestible for us. If you're not vigilant, you too will start creating your own echo chamber with curated music, curated friends, and curated ideas that inevitably become stale without being invigorated by the new and unexpected. How many of us are on Spotify or Facebook? If you are, as I am, you know that these platforms serve up more of whatever they think you already like. And it's easy and comfortable to just go with that, just as it's easy and comfortable to listen to your favorite playlist in the car all the time, or to only get your news from sources which already share your political bias. But think of what you might be missing. A song or an idea that might move you or challenge your thinking in the moment. Or more crucially, a story that could inspire you to change your life or the world around you. In other words, the curiosity tool shakes you from your usual playlist of ideas, habits, and assumptions. It unfastens you from your mental, physical, and emotional comfort zones. So practicing curiosity, looking beyond the edges of our known horizons to experience what is unfamiliar to us, needs to become a daily habit, like getting some exercise or brushing your teeth. I know a really great place not far from here. In fact, it just closed its doors after 25 years of being a community staple. It's called Chet's Video and Candy Shop. And when you walked into Chet's, rather than the designed just for your preferences home screen of Netflix, Chet's shelves invited you to explore hundreds of diverse movie titles, indiscriminate of your presumed likes and dislikes. All of Chet's curious patrons could spend as long as they wanted perusing those shelves, open to being surprised by stumbling on a title that had not been curated for their tastes by an algorithm that populates the similar and the familiar. Who knew you would delight in Korean horror films when a computer made sure you were never offered one based on who you've been up till now? Reside in the mindset of Chet's video store and you won't get trapped by what some other person or company or institution thinks your choices should be. Retreating into the zone Retreating into the zone of our comfortable ideas is exactly how learning, innovation, and growth are stifled, whether in a person, a community, or indeed a country. Embracing naivete and curiosity is more critical now than ever before. These are the tools that keep us nimble so we can pivot and adapt quickly to change. These are the tools that strengthen our uniquely human muscles for creativity. The act of creating is a confident leap into the unknown, like that long jump was for me. It requires curiosity's quest for surprise and naivete's openness to not knowing. It is the part of our humanity that will give us the edge over the smartest of intelligent machines. IBM's Watson and Google's DeepMind cannot yet make choices that involve unknowns. However many answers they can extrapolate from data, they are only as smart as the information they are fed. They are limited by what they've learned. People, on the other hand, are freed by what they can imagine. Nelson Mandela spoke to this power when he said, "Imagination created the illusion that my vision went much farther than the naked eye could actually see." Imagination is closely linked to the third tool I want to tell you about today, which is daydreaming. Because the fire of our imaginations is stoked by daydreaming. The professional world has a direct adult parallel to daydreaming called visualization. Athletes use it, and business leaders use it to help them perform at peak level. But essentially, it's what you did when you were bored on the school bus as a kid. It's how you created pictures in your head when you read a story to illustrate and understand the meaning of words. I was always a big daydreamer. In elementary school, our report cards had 2 columns, one for grades and one for attitude. And I would get good grades, but routinely I had minus signs in the attitude column. And the teacher comments always went something like this: "Amy is never really with us. Amy's a chronic daydreamer," like it was a chronic medical condition. But I used daydreaming as a tool to explore. I spent a lot of time in hospitals as a child. And when I couldn't actually leave my hospital bed with 2 full plaster casts on my leg, I daydreamed my way out. I traveled in my head. I honed my ability to imagine other times and worlds and places in great detail, places I'd never been to. So as a 4-year-old, I was flying around on a magic carpet across the Great Pyramids of Egypt. I was jousting with the Knights of the Round Table, unfettered by the realism of my geography, of the actual era in which I live, or even my gender. I never wanted to be the princess that had to be rescued. I always wanted to be a knight. Daydreaming is the mind unfettered. It's the only place where it's our right to ignore all boundaries and purposely disregard what we've been told makes sense. I designed my future by daydreaming it, because daydreaming is the bridge between imagining and creating something. Daydreaming helps us see a path through the limitless possibilities of the imagination so that the unknown, unexperienced, or the unreal can take shape in our mind's eye and become seen, known, and ultimately much closer to becoming real. So make daydreaming a choice, not an accident. Practice it like any other skill that requires a commitment of time. It's how you'll rework the status quo for society and for yourselves. So all that I've talked about in the last 15 minutes or so runs counter to the traditional commencement narrative of graduating into adulthood. If being adult means being realistic, playing it safe, and trying to avoid disappointment by sticking with what you know. But fortunately, your education here at Northeastern has been anything but traditional. Yes, you've acquired a storehouse of valuable knowledge, but most importantly, your co-ops and other unfamiliar experiences have required you to act amidst uncertainty, to be open to surprise, to push outside your comfort zone, and to dream up solutions to problems you were encountering for the first time. And you've experienced the necessity of designing a new self, a professional self, and you will have to keep doing that. So Northeastern University class of 2018, keep that going. This commencement doesn't reference a finish line, it speaks to beginnings. Commence every day with a little bit of that just born feeling. Bring your toolbox from childhood and use those tools. Embrace naivete. Practice your willingness to be surprised and see surprise as exciting. A life of stumbling across the unexpected and unknown is a richer life, both for you and for those who have yet to meet you. Don't let your curiosity muscles atrophy. Muscles atrophy if they're not used, and curiosity is a muscle you have to work. Resist the echo chamber, both the one you will be encouraged to create for yourself and those that technology would create for you. And if you, like me, were chastised for being a daydreamer, ignore that. Remember that Einstein began to formulate his theory of relativity by daydreaming that he was running alongside a sunbeam to the end of the universe. And above all, welcome not knowing. If you feel like you must know what you're doing at every stage of your life, you will never innovate and you'll never change the world. The time of building a life of secure expectations, one free of surprises, if it ever existed, is evaporating. The world is changing around all of us, but much faster for you than for any previous generation. Train yourself to be nimble and to stay porous when encountering the unfamiliar, and you'll never be disabled by your own mind. Use the tools that you were born with to feel the new and potentially scary experiences in your life for what they are. Nothing more or less than an invitation. Thank you, and congratulations, Northeastern class of 2018. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Well, thank you, Amy. That was wonderful. Members of the class of 2018, the moment you have been waiting for all morning and working towards all these years is now here. The degrees in course will be conferred. Mr. President, it is my privilege to report to you that the candidates assembled here have qualified in all respects for the degrees in course. They have successfully completed curricula offered by the several schools and colleges of Northeastern University and have been recommended by the faculty and the Council of Deans to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. The candidates will be presented to you by their academic deans. After they have been presented, members of the graduating class in each school or college will please remain standing until your degrees have been conferred. I would like to invite Nadine Aubrey, Dean of the College of Engineering, to come forward.
The candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Engineering, please rise. Mr. President, it's my great pleasure to present all of the graduates from the College of Engineering who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Science with specification. Graduates, dream, fulfill your dreams and those of society. Congratulations to all.
I would like to invite Raj Ichambadi, Dean of the Damore McKim School of Business, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Damore McKim School of Business please rise? Mr. President, I have the great privilege and high honor of introducing our graduates from Damore McKim, who are the next generation of impactful global leaders. They have fulfilled all their requirements in all aspects for the degree of Bachelor's of Science or Bachelor of Science with specification. Congratulations, graduates.
I would like to invite Susan Parrish, Dean of the Bouvet College of Health Sciences, to come forward.
Thank you, Provost Mean. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelors of Science in the Bouvet College of Health Sciences please rise? Mr. President, it is my honor to present to you the students who have qualified in all respects for the Bachelor of Science degree and the Bachelor of Science degree with specifications. Everybody around the room, look at the healthcare leaders and clinicians who are going to be taking care of you. Congratulations, graduates.
I would like to invite Carla Broadley, Dean of the College of Computer and Information Science, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Degree in the College of Computer and Information Science please rise? Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science with specification, or Bachelor of Arts with specification. To my graduates, go out and use and create tech for social good to help humanity. Congratulations.
I would like to invite Elizabeth Hudson, Dean of the College of Arts, Media, and Design, to come forward.
Hello, Candy. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Arts, Media, and Design please rise? Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, or Bachelor of Landscape Architecture. Camdy, congratulations.
Would like to invite Kenneth Henderson, Dean of the College of Science, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Science please rise? Mr. President, it is my pleasure to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts. Graduates, it's your time to go discover and invent all our futures. Congratulations.
I would like to invite Uta Poiger, Dean of the College of Social Sciences and Humanities, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor in the College of Social Sciences and Humanities please rise? Mr. President, it is my great honor to present to you the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science who have qualified in all respects for their degrees. Based on our experiential liberal arts mission, they dream and work to make this world a better place. Congratulations, candidates. Graduates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you and all those who have properly qualified the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts with specification, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science with specification, according to the department in which you have qualified, with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Graduates, congratulations.
Will the graduates please be seated? It is my pleasure to welcome the award-winning Northeasters.
I knew when you told me you don't want to go home tonight, and you tried to just shrug it off when I asked why. Somebody hurt you, somebody hurt you. Ooh, and I knew, 'cause I can recall when I was the one in your seat. I've got the scars and they occasionally bleed. Somebody hurt me, somebody hurt me, but I'm still alive.
And I can tell when you get nervous, you think being yourself means being unworthy, and it's hard to love with a heart that's hurting. But if you want to go out dancing, I know a place we can go, where everyone gonna lay down their weapon, lay down their weapon. Just give me trust and watch what will happen if you lay down your weapon. Just lay down your weapon. Just lay down your weapon. Just lay down your weapon. Ooh.
We'll try to make you unhappy. Don't let them. They will try to tell you you're not free. Don't listen. I know a place where we don't need protection we can go where everyone gonna lay down the weapon, lay down the weapon.
Just give me trust and anything can happen, 'cause I know a place we can go where everyone gonna lay down their weapon, lay down their weapon. Just give me trust and anything can happen, 'cause I know a place we can go
Thank you to the Nor'easters. The faculty marshals will now present the graduates to the platform in order to receive their diplomas. We ask all graduates to return to their seats following receipt of their diplomas and remain seated through the end of the ceremony. All family and guests should please remain in the audience until the graduates have been recessed. Start. Okay, will the graduates please find their seats? Did you all get the right diploma? Okay, will graduates please rise? Candidates receiving their first degree today will now shift their tassel to the left side of your cap. Please join the Northeasters in singing the alma mater. Words and music are on the back of the program. We invite all NU alums in the audience to stand and sing our alma mater with us.
Children gather far and near and seek your blessings dear. Fair memories we cherish now and will forevermore. Come, let us raise our voices strong. Northeastern we adore.
Graduates, please be seated.
Graduates, now commencement is going to start. We are here for another hour and a half. I'm going to deliver my charge, but it's going to be very brief. Our honorary degree recipients are changing the world. Look to their example. Your uniquely human qualities are your most precious resource. They will make all the difference as technology transforms how we work, how we relate to one another, and how we exist. Cultivate your human strength throughout your lives. They will serve you better than any body of knowledge. Amy Mullins spoke about welcoming the unknown. Continue your discoveries, never see boundaries, only new horizons. And remember that wherever you are, wherever you go, Northeastern will be there with you and for you. Now go forth. Our future is in your hands. As far as we are concerned, we're done. And we are going to the beach. So that's why I'm asking Amy to join me. If you don't believe us, look at that.
Will the audience and graduates please remain seated and wait for the marshals to lead the graduates in the recession?